In lesson 16 we showed how you can define validation rules for the controls on your component, and we discussed how you can use the validation rules property to define rules in a declarative way. But in some cases the validation rules builder is not going to give you all of the validation options that you require, and you're going to want to write your own code for data validation. So let's go in and take a look at some of the other options that you have for validating data. So let's, for example, go to, say, the city field here, which we defined the required rule declaratively, and let's go ahead now and turn that off. And instead of using the validation rules option, let's go here and define this rule using XBasic. So we'll bring up the validation XBasic builder, and we can go here now and define our rule. So we can see that the data for the current field, when it's is going to be inside that variable called e.data.city, and I'm going to just go here and comment out the sample code so that we can see what's going on. And then I'm also going to go and put in a debug1 over here so that we actually open up the XBasic debugger while this code is executing, and we can step through the code line by line. So let's go ahead now and go over to working preview. Then we'll go and tap on the new customer button over there, and we'll type in a value over there, a value over there, but we'll leave the city field blank and then hit the submit button. And you can see now that the XBasic debugger has opened up, and if we just type inside the watch expression, if we type E over there and then expand E and then go to data and then city, we can see that e.data.city is blank, so therefore we're going to go into that if statement. So now we're going to set validate.city to has error equals true, and then city cannot be blank, which is the error message. And if we just continue running by just hitting the run button over there, we can see that the error message that we defined programmatically is displayed over there. So what we've shown here is how you can write your own XBasic to validate the data at a field by field level. So and of course this XBasic here can be as complex as you want, and you can also reference other values that were submitted. So for example, you can, inside your XBasic code here, you could be referencing e.data.company name or e.data.customer ID, etc. So you can see how you can build much more complex validation expressions. But in addition to validation XBasic, which is defined at the individual control level, you can also define validation JavaScript, which is JavaScript code that you'd like to execute before the data is even submitted to the server in the first place. So this would be so-called client-side validation, and you've got the ability to define any client-side validation that you want, and your JavaScript here is going to either return an error message or false, basically. So if there's no error, you'll return false. Otherwise, you'll return the error message that should be displayed. And then finally, the last option is on the server-side events here. You can see that there's an event handler called dialog.validate. So this event handler fires before the after dialog validate event. So after dialog validate is where we put in the code that actually saves the record to the backend database. But this event, after dialog validate, only fires if the dialog.validate event indicated that there were no validation errors. So in this code, you can set these two properties, has error and error text, and these errors will be displayed on the dialog to the user. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.